Short and sweet stories.
A good idea for Mumo Blue.
Mr. Wolf is looking for a new job. Mr. Wolf needs no introduction because all of you boys and girls know more than enough about him. He is the bad guy in all fairy tales. And besides, he is the one who, in the end, always loses out. But one day, Mr. Wolf got fed up with his job. Not only was he bored of having been doing the same thing for centuries, but it was beginning to affect his mood that everyone feared and hated him. The truth is that, only a few years ago, Mr. Wolf was not very aware of this. It was when he opened a profile on social media that he realized the rejection he aroused in people. It wasn't just that nobody gave him likes when he posted Instagram photos of the dishes he had cooked with children, or that he received a lot of offensive tweets from vegetarian groups. They had even created the hashtag #BlockTheBigBadWolf. All that had begun to take its toll on him, and every day he was more nervous, sadder, and more fed up, so he decided to change jobs. Mr. Wolf went that morning to the Forest Employment Office. He had to get up very early to get an appointment, and even so, he still had to wait 3 interminable hours to be seen. But finally, his turn came. Mr. Big Bad Wolf? Yes, that's me. Come in, please. Mr. Wolf followed the employee into a small office. He took a seat and handed his resume to the clerk. There was a long, uncomfortable silence as she studied his work experience. Okay, let's take it one step at a time. It says here that you worked on the 3 Little Pigs tale. That's right. Well, from this experience, what skills would you say you have? Well, a great lung capacity. I blew down the houses of those little piggies just by blowing. Interesting. I'll put you down for the position of windmill blower then. Now, with all this green energy stuff, there are lots of positions available. What kind of houses did you tear down? A thatched one and a wooden one. I couldn't do the brick one. I don't blow that hard. I understand. So, just in case, I'm going to sign you up for these jobs too. Blower and glass factory and balloon inflator in children's ballpark. You have also worked on the story of the 7 little goats. I don't remember that one. It is the story of a mother goat who leaves her 7 kids at home alone, and the wolf gets them to open the door by pretending to be their mother. Oh, I see what you mean. What would you highlight from that? Well, I got the little goats to open the door for me. I was very convincing. You can also apply for this position, door-to-door salesman. What is that? It's the one who goes around houses trying to sell people things they don't need. It takes skill to get people to open their front door to a stranger. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, I think I'd be good at that. And how did you manage to convince the little goats to open the door for you? Well, I softened and bleached my hand with flour. We'll look for something in the cosmetics sector. And I cleared my voice with egg yolks. That sounds interesting. Could you give me a demonstration? Do you have, eggs? Sure. In the public sector, we have everything. Here you go. I always shake them, you know? It's less disgusting than swallowing them whole. Go ahead. Show me what you can do.
Has oído a un lobo aullar aleja la luna azul, o has visto a un lince sonreír.
Amazing. I'll put you down for a job as a singer. Let's keep going. It says here that you are the wolf from Little Red Riding Hood. Do you devour grannies? Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, you can't apply for positions that involve the care of the elderly for safety reasons. I'm going to write it down here. Anything to note about your work on this story? Many hours of waiting in the woods for Little Red Riding Hood to show up.
My name is Agnes.
Did you hear that? No. What? That. My name is Agnes. If you hear voices in your head, I'm afraid I'm going to have to remove you as a balloon blower for children's parties. Back on topic. I'm a wolf with a lot of patience. Patience. I understand. You can work as a scientific researcher. I hear the pay's not that great. In a bonsai nursery. And right here, having to deal with the public at the Forest Employment Office. Wait a minute. Do you want to take my job? No, you suggested it, not me. Well, I'll cross that out. Just in case. Finally, you say you have worked on the story The Boy Who Cried Wolf? Yes, I have experience with liars. Political journalism department. Okay. And I have experience with sheep. I know how to catch them and hold them without hurting them. When they tighten up, the meat gets tough and I hurt my teeth. As a shearer, you would have a great future. There are hardly any professionals left in the world. A pity. Very sad. I'll write it down. Languages? All the languages into which my stories have been translated. Own a vehicle? No. I could get a bike. Willingness to travel. Look, it's just that with all this COVID stuff, I'm not really looking forward to having a stick shoved up my nose, so no. Are you interested in teleworking job offers? I have 3 wolf cubs, 2, 4, and 6 years old, you know. Teleworking? Impossible. Too noisy. Look, I have a picture here. Very cute, very nice. Well, that's it. That's it? Yes, we'll call you when we get a vacancy in a position that fits your professional profile. Oh, great. Just in case, in addition to the photo taken from the profile, I'll leave a front view photo. Have a nice afternoon. Likewise. Captain Hook? Yes, that'd be me. Go ahead. Mr. Wolf went to his cave and prepared to wait for the call from the employment office. But days went by and nothing. His cell phone didn't ring. The only noise the phone made was the tweet notifications that made him angry. A week and a half later, Mr. Wolf had given up hope of being able to change jobs. He was doomed to be the bad guy in the story for eternity. But one morning, the phone rang. Hey, how's it going? Good morning, Mr. Big Bad Wolf. Yes, it's me. I'm telephoning from the Forest Employment Office. I have the perfect position for you. They are interested in the NGO Save the Gray Wolf. They need someone in the fundraising department. They really liked your profile. And also your headshot. Oh, that's great news. I'm so excited. When do I start? As soon as you can. Perfect. Let me talk to my bosses, the storytellers, after submitting my formal resignation. And as soon as the paperwork is done, I'll be on board. All right. As soon as you get the paperwork done, you'll stop by the employment office. Thank you very much. As soon as he hung up, Mr. Wolf quickly contacted his bosses to tender his resignation. Needless to say how surprised and shocked the narrators were by this news. They begged him to stay, offered him a promotion, and to have his own office in the forest. They even promised to raise his salary. Sorry, I'm just not interested anymore. There was nothing to be done. Mr. Wolf was determined and very excited. Not only had he managed to change jobs, but he had found a much better one that made him the good guy in the story. In an NGO, that was a real stroke of luck. But then, something unexpected happened. Hello? Wolf? Yes, it's me. Who is it? It's Agnes. Who Agnes? Agnes Kitty. Oh, for crying out loud, Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, yes, Little Red Riding Hood. What's up? Listen, the boss has called me to tell me that you're quitting the storytelling wolf job. And that can't be. You know all the characters are in shock. You can't leave. I'm sorry, Little Red. Agnes, but it's decided. I'm sorry if I treated you badly, you know? It's just that I have a rebellious nature. But I love you, silly. You're my friend and I don't want you to leave. And my grandmother, you've made her very upset with this decision. Little Red Riding Hood spent a long time trying to dissuade him, but nothing worked. The wolf was determined to change jobs. But the surprising thing came later. All the characters in her stories contacted him to convince him not to leave. The boy who cried wolf, Granny, the little pigs, the hunter, Mother Goat, even the 7 little goats came to his cave to try to convince him. Then the wolf understood how necessary he was to his companions and realized what the real problem was. So he changed his mind. He went to the forest employment office and turned down the job. And do you know what he did right after that? He closed all his social media profiles. Mr. Wolf had realized that the truly important people are the ones who really know you, the ones you share moments with, the ones who don't judge you or pick on you, the ones who help you. Mr. Wolf had earned a lot of fame as the bad guy of the story with the passing of the centuries. He didn't need to change jobs. What Mr. Wolf needed was to get rid of all those unknown and evil people, and it was very simple to do it. And he worked happily ever after. Oh, I forgot. Mr. Wolf contacted the NGO to collaborate with them for free in his spare time, because Save Gray Wolves is really a very nice cause.
A good idea for Muma Blue, your coolest, personalized books brand.